Street by more than 12,000 trips during demolition, which was a kind of operation where we used these containers that were filled with material and taken off the site by barge, and then they were delivered empty and then removed again. I also want to say that we delivered equipment by barge as well for the demolition project. Here you see the largest crane in New York Harbor, which is lifting the major excavators. This happens to be the crushing machine that was used to crush all the material that stayed on site. This is the demobilization of the demolition. They loaded about 10 very large pieces of equipment that would have had to have been disassembled and driven down Main Street on flatbed trucks and over the bridge. They were all taken away by barge. Similarly, the steel that you see going up now is being put up by a crane. It's called a 999. It's over 100 feet tall. Those big red cranes, those were all delivered by barge. There's one of them in operation now. There's a second one that's about to be delivered. A third one is going to be delivered. A fourth one and a fifth one is going to be delivered. Each one of them represents about 22 truck trips that would have had to happen in order to so we're very focused on this. As Jane said, it's not inexpensive, but it is something that we're committed to, and it's something that all of the developers, again, this is not just the Cornell projects. 2 of these cranes are the Cornell project, 2 of them are for the Forest City project, and 1 of them is for the Hudson-related project. So this is everybody working together under Cornell's umbrella to fulfill a commitment that we now this is the most exciting one. No one's ever done this in the harbor before. So we worked for about a year with several consultants, a couple of engineers, and a barging company to fabricate this facility, which is sitting out there right now. It was put up last week. It was installed early last week, about 2 weeks ago. And what it is it's a barge that's spudded into place. There's about a 60-foot long by 60-foot wide ramp that goes from the barge onto an area that's been prepared behind the seawall. And there it is. Barges can come to either the north side of it or the south side of it. There are ramps on both the north and south side. The trucks drive onto the ramp, and then they drive onto Roosevelt Island. And we've already done this a couple of times. Here's a picture of a truck that's about to come off of its barge onto the ramp, and then it will come up this ramp onto Roosevelt Island. Again, we're very excited by this plan. So here's the first step is you have an empty truck that actually backs onto the barge. It's pretty amazing to see the drivers do this. I'm interested to see how it's going to go in the winter. So they back onto the barge, literally they back onto the barge, and then they back onto a different barge. They back for twice onto a barge, and they hook up to the truck. They drive it forward off the first barge onto the second barge, over the bridge, and here you can see it finally making its way onto the island. We always have to have blue skies and the skyline of the bridge in every one of our pictures. So we just started this system. Stephen told me we had 8 trucks today, 8 steel trucks today delivering. So the commitment that we made, again, it's not just about volume and getting trucks off of Main Street, it's about the trucks that are the biggest, the trucks that are the heaviest and have the most impact. And so we're doing a lot to get those off Main Street. Upcoming milestones, reopening North Loop Road. We're excited about this happening hopefully in a week or 2. We are going to be relocating the West Road fence. Right now it's right at the eastern edge of that curve. It's going to move over to the western edge of that curve. So that road, just like you saw on the east side before, that's what's going to happen to the west side roadway. It's all going to be excavated. We're going to replace all the utilities. We're going to widen it, put in new curbs, benches, lighting, all of that, and before it can be reopened. Steel construction at the Bloomberg Center and the bridge I've talked about, concrete superstructure I've talked about, and finally we are building a geothermal well field under that main campus lawn that you saw. We'll be digging somewhere between 60 and maybe 90 wells that are 400 to 500 feet deep that are going to provide water for heating and cooling in the Bloomberg Center. I think that will start in October-ish or November-ish. In terms of, I always try to focus on what people are going to be seeing out there, and this is a pretty big operation, as you can imagine. So we'll keep you up to date as to when that will be started. That's going to be very interesting. You'll be able to see it just from the edge of the Esplanade. And again, that's what it's going to look like when it's done.